Ladies and gentlemen, what's up? Brian Casella here, BC, leader of Team BC nationwide. Also the host, sole host of Supreme Being, the podcast. Welcome back to another episode. As you can see from the title, what specifically can you offer that no one else can? This one's going to be a juicy one. If you guys didn't see, I announced it officially. People have been asking me for years. This is a quick plug here at the beginning. They've been asking me for years about a lot of the dialogues that I've created, specific sales scripts and all that. We're nearly done compiling it all into one like script book, along with all the other stuff that I have, but all my unique stuff. And I mean, it's a lot. And I can say for sure that you're not going to find this type of stuff anywhere else, but it's finally going to be available to the public. I'm releasing it first to my students, but it's one of many exclusive offers that I have and pieces of my programs, right? So even if you join tier 1 of my program, which is Distinguished Agent, you'll get instant access to all those script books and all those scripts and all that fun stuff. So if you're interested, you can find the links everywhere on my bio, Facebook, Instagram, here on the podcast, everywhere. So go check it out. Okay. I'm excited about that, right? So today, right, let's jump into the podcast. Again, always appreciate the support. We've really been breaking a lot of ground here with the podcast. I mean, there's days where we get 3,000 or 4,000 downloads. Pretty cool. So I appreciate you guys. Let's get into it. What specifically can you offer that no one else can, right? Now, that's a question that has to be answered openly and honestly. And we can apply it to many, many areas of people's lives. Obviously, most people follow me because of sales, entrepreneurship and that kind of stuff. So let's start there. Right? If you follow me and you're a realtor, what can you offer that no one else can? You have to be able to answer that question. At minimum, even if it doesn't happen when you meet with somebody or you talk to them on the phone, the question comes up, even if that doesn't come up. Okay. More importantly, to yourself, can you answer this question? Because this is key, because this is the underlying software, these answers, and all the stuff firing off in your system that's deep down inside at the depths of your soul that then shows up on the surface. A person who can answer this openly and honestly and has a legitimate answer, again, to themselves, forget the outside world, but to themselves, they operate in business and in life differently than people who don't. You know exactly what you're worth. You know exactly what you bring to the table. And there you go. So you operate from a place of certainty, clarity, and things that most people have no clue about, or they don't have, and they lack. But can you specifically offer something that no one else can? So let's give an example, like for me, for my training and coaching. People have been asking me for years, bro, that's something you do. Like you sound different, you speak different. Well, I'm compiling everything now. It's been there. It's just never been compiled into one script book, which is what people want. That's very valuable to a lot of people. That's something I can offer that no one else can. There's stuff and dialogues you're going to find in there that I put my money on. A lot of it you're not going to find anywhere else, and you've never heard of it. I know what that's worth, and that's one of a million things that I offer uniquely like that in my coaching, which is why organically it's been such a thriving community, and so many people come and join. But like, I'm clear about that stuff. I know I can offer things that no one else can. Because even within that, you can say, well, okay, I offer what everybody else offers, but it's the best. So even if you offer the same as everybody else, but yours, what you're offering in that category is the best, well, then you can offer something that no one else can, because you have the best one. You have the highest quality one. So even within this question, there's multiple ways to answer it, and you need to really use your mind. Because maybe you're in a commodity business, kind of like, the real estate agent service. Hey, if I'm number one and I do it the best and better than everybody else, well, hey, that's what I offer. I'm the best. So yeah, everybody's the same, but at least get the best one, right? That's a different angle. Not the most ideal way to answer that question, but hey, if that's what you got, that's what you play. That's the card that you play. But you really need to answer this, right? Now, the reason I'm bringing this up too is I don't like what I see in the world where like kind of the new age spirituality has come in and like, well, I deserve this and that. It's like, no, you don't, dude. That's a weak way of answering this. You don't, just because you exist, you don't deserve something. We can say that everybody deserves freedom and life. Sure. Right? We're all born with the same rights. I agree. I'm not talking about that. But you can't just step up and be like, well, I deserve to live in $1 million high-rise condo just because my name is Brian. I mean, that's idiotic, right? We have to draw the line somewhere. If you don't have the money, you can't pay for the condo, you can't live there. Straight up. You need the money. Well, you need to provide some sort of value or service in order to earn that money that then would grant you the right to purchase that condo in this example. well, what are you going to do? And again, if you're an entrepreneur and you run a business and you sell a product or service, well, one of the best ways to be filthy rich, be successful, stand out from the crowd is to offer something that no one else can offer, right? This is why even when you look within my business of real estate, people started trying to get, creative. You went people who went the route of, well, I'm the cheapest one, so I can offer you the biggest savings. We had other people who offered unique services. Like, hey, if you move with us, we'll pay for your moving services and we'll pay for the truck and the company that handles the move and does all that, right? Like, so they're throwing in specific bonuses that come back to the answer to this question, which is something specific that they can offer you that no one else offers. Now, the key here, if you want to take this to the next level, especially in regards to relationships or business, is that valuable in the eyes of the person that you're presenting this to? Because even if you offer something that's not, or that specifically no one else can offer, but you can, but it's not valuable to that person or organization or individual, then it doesn't matter. So obviously, to be at the highest level, you need to specifically offer something that no one else can that's appealing to the most amount of people, or specifically to that niche that you want it to be, and in that niche you dominate. Again, if we're talking business. Pretty cool, right? So as we start to extrapolate this, okay, at the macro level, we know this is extremely important. Again, we're still focusing on just business here for the most part, but again, universally applicable. Now you have to answer this. Now, again, you can always find an angle. I've covered that with you guys before. Even if you feel like, man, there's just nothing I can offer, well, find your angle, dude. Right? If you don't have the experience and the track record and all that stuff, you need to figure it out, because I had to in the beginning. Now the tables have turned. Now I have a decade's worth of experience, almost hundreds and hundreds of home sales, all that stuff, right? I mean, I haven't even tallied it up. So, right? Now I can play the other side that I didn't have. But I would always find my angle, right? In the beginning, like as an example, this is me getting creative. After I sold, 2 or 3 listings as a new agent, I said, man, I have a couple things working in my favor. Every single listing I've taken, I've sold. So I have 100% sale ratio. And then all of them have sold more than what I was asking, right? So I'm getting creative now, because let's say that first metric I gave you, again, remember this question, what specifically can you offer that no one else can? I remember there were situations where I had only sold 2 or 3 homes as a new real estate agent almost 10 years ago. But I would be going up against somebody who had a team. They would sell 50, 100, 150 homes a year. But what did I do? I used my mind. And I looked it up, and I would find out these teams are only selling like 70% on average of the listings that they take, sometimes less. So then if I know I'm going up against a particular team and they sell 6 out of 10 homes, what is that? That's a 60% chance for somebody to sell. I would say, you know what the most important thing is that distinguishes me and the other team or the other individual that you're interviewing, Mr. Client, Mr. and Mrs. Client, is with me, every single listing I've taken, I've sold. So with me, as of right now, you have a 100% chance to sell your home, statistically speaking. With these other guys, you're at about 60%. So what makes more sense to you as somebody wanting to sell their home, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, having a 100% chance to sell your home or a 60% chance to sell your home? Damn. I mean, talk about a fucking mic drop moment. Now you have to have the courage to be able to deliver that like a boss, even when you're new, like I did. And the first couple of times I didn't deliver it that good, right? And it still worked because the information and the way that I presented it was so fucking compelling that they went with it. And it's true. I didn't lie. I didn't cheat. I didn't steal. I found my angle and I worked it. Because at the end of the day, I've said this before, but write this one down. It's not who delivers the best information that wins. It's who delivers the information the best that wins. And that's a prime example of that. I found my angle. I didn't have to lie, cheat, or steal, or bend the truth. And I offered something specifically that the other person couldn't. And that's why I got those deals. You see, nobody taught me how to do that. That was on my own ingenuity. And that gives you a taste of what I bring to the table as a teacher. And what I bring to the table as an entrepreneur with my resourcefulness. Because these are the angles that I had to create myself in order to hit the crossroads of I'm going to survive and thrive in this business, or I'm going to crash and burn like 90% of people and entrepreneurs and small businesses. And I said, no, I'm not going to fail. I'm going to make this shit happen. I'm going to have to figure it out. And if that requires a side of me that I haven't pulled out yet or discovered, fuck it. Let's do it. Let's figure it out. Using my mind. But I answered this question. What specifically could I offer that no one else could? And boom, I got it. And I was rewarded handsomely because of it. Now, that's just one of a million examples that I can give you of how this thing works. Because even within a situation that you feel like, man, this is insurmountable odds. Oh, man, I can't find my angle. You can find it if you look hard enough and you use your intelligence and your mind, right? And if you don't know how to use it yet, then let me help you, right? Let me be your teacher. Or if it's not me, find a teacher that's going to help you develop that and have it blossom out of you, because that's what it requires. It requires development, right? What I just described to you is ingenuity, resourcefulness, creativity, using your mind, using your intelligence, being a high-level strategist, right? These are the things that you need to cultivate. These are the things that you need to demand from the people around you. This is what you need to develop within yourself. You see, this is the key. This is what you got to do. But even if you're not in my industry, what specifically can you offer that no one else can? Because again, this is universally just a web that you can cast everywhere. Even if you sell pencils, what makes your pencil or your company or something about your pencil, your product, that makes it so different? You have to find it. If not, well, shit, how are you going to sell it? And how is the customer going to see value in it? Right? Fundamental question that has to be answered and established. So as you're going through your business, right? Hey, I'm a realtor. Hey, I sell XYZ. Hey, I offer coaching. Hey, I do this, I do that. Same thing with, even if you do YouTube, I do YouTube in my podcast. I know on my podcast and YouTube, I'm going to offer information and perspectives that you're probably not going to find anywhere else. Some of the stuff, probably a good chunk of it, yeah, other people have talked about, but there's going to be some that's unique to me, and I'm going to have a unique perspective on it. I know at the very least, I can offer that on my podcast, and I can offer it on my YouTube, right? At the very least, right? There's more, but I can say that confidently for sure, among many other things. The key word here is quantifiable. Quantifiable. Show me the money, baby. Show me something. Can I see it? Can I touch it? Can I experience it? Can I taste it? Can I hear it? Can I sense it? And the people who separate themselves, the people who focus on this, the people who are able to successfully do this are the cream of the crop. Look at all the top companies like Amazon and all that. They were able to offer something that no one else could back then. They were either the first one, or they took the original idea and improved upon it, and then again offered something that no one else could, or an improvement upon the previous thing that no one else could, right? It always boils down to that. It always boils down to that. A lot of people, as an example, right, if we're going to keep going, come to me for speaker training now, teaching them how to be better speakers, whether it's selling like on stage at an event or just for YouTube or for their business, right? To help them with their communication. And again, I've compiled a lot of stuff in training that I do that I know some of it you'll find in other places for sure, but some of it you won't, because it's uniquely created by me, right? So there's so many things within my real estate business, within my coaching business, speaking or whatever it is. I know I can offer many things in these categories that no one else can. That's why all these sectors do well, and I'm so confident, and I speak about them the way that I speak about them. Because the proof is in the fucking pudding, right? But again, what leads to that? Let's talk about what leads to that. Your development, your time spent investing in your business, in yourself, your development of skills in that category, the R&D, the research and development in your product or service, whatever it is, to make it better, to make it outstanding, right? Because there's a lot of work done behind the scenes that then brings this thing to the surface. That answer doesn't just pop up because you exist. It comes from tireless hours and hours of hard work and dedication, right? Even like I think back when I started helping people in the very beginning of my career, improve, going door to door and making calls, I was throwing stuff at them that they didn't really think about. I said, hey, when you go door to door, you have to be, we have to be professional to a degree, but we need to be a little crazy too. And that was a foreign concept to people back then. Wearing highlighter colored shoes of multiple colors and wearing bright colors in your suit and standing out. Again, to most of the public, perceived potentially based on general consensus, right, as unprofessional. I was making it work and people were scratching their head. Why? I went a level deeper in my studies and studied human psychology. So I knew what the fuck I was talking about. So I brought a different perspective and angle on it that other people had not up until that point. Then I started sharing it online. And then people started like, right? And then just the snowball started gathering momentum. You see? But everything that I touch, everything that I study, everything that I've accomplished, every path that I walk, I apply this mentality to it. You need to have something specifically unique to you outside of that modern day mumbo jumbo. Oh, I just deserve it because I exist and I'm this, I'm a king, I'm a queen. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. That's delusion. That's delusion, right? And it's kind of been woven into society now where everybody just thinks, oh, just for showing up, like you see with the kids. When I was growing up as a kid, if you got first place, you got the trophy, second, third, and then if you didn't, better luck next year. Now we get participation trophies. I mean, give me a break, dude. You're staining the prestige of getting first and all the hard work those people did to place first, second, and third. We're just peeing on that. On all the hard work and dedication to achieve top honors. Pissed down the drain because people have their feelings hurt. Right? And people will try to bring that angle to this subject. No. If it's not quantifiable, if it's not real, again, show me the money, baby. Show it to me. Let me see it. It doesn't matter. Because now we're talking about the real world, entrepreneurship, right? You bring something to the marketplace that's valuable, that people see as worthy, you will be rewarded. If not, if it's an inferior product or service, you'll fail out of the business like most people do. Plain and simple. And we'll sit there and point the finger at him or her or this or that. It has nothing to do except with the person that you're looking at in the mirror at the end of the day. And you weren't able to solve and answer this question properly and then communicate that and articulate it to the marketplace. Point blank. That's it. And we have to be able to take responsibility for it. And coming at it from that angle, I said, hey, I got to make this shit happen. I got to figure it out. Are the odds against me right now because I'm new in an industry and an entrepreneur? Yes. However, it doesn't mean that it's impossible. So if you go back to the first example that I gave you, I found an angle early on and I rode with it. And sometimes I'd be there in my dungeon in my little 400 square foot apartment with my, dry erase board, writing stuff down, trying to figure it out. But hey, I put in the work and I earned that position. Hey man, I'm getting my ass kicked with the prospect saying this. And then sitting there and figuring it out. I need to come up with a response to this. I need to have something legitimate to respond to this line that I keep hearing or this objection or whatever it is. And I figured it out. You're extremely resourceful as a human being. And the best part is you can ask for help or you can get it. I did. But you have to be willing to do whatever it takes to get the help, to grow, to be around those people. And it's just a step that people are unfortunately unwilling to take in most cases if they want to take it to that level of achievement. Right? You're not going to have all-star income, wealth, and achievement with mediocre, run-of-the-mill, or barely above average effort. It's just not going to happen. You need to dedicate yourself wholeheartedly and entirely to these things, right? All that existed for me was my development in those fields, those first couple of years, especially, and even now. Everything revolves around it. And that's never going to change. But again, that's what it takes. So a question like this needs to rack your brain until you can legitimately come back and say, Brian, I have the answer. And it's legit. Here you go. This is what makes me specifically unique and an offer that no one else can offer. And here's why. I'll show it to you. Boom. You figured it out. Now, great. Now go offer it to the marketplace and go make some money. And keep knocking on doors and making calls and doing social media and doing the emails and whatever you do until you make your money and you're successful and you're happy with this business or idea. And then move on to the next one if you want. Go for it. Right? Because that's what you do. But this question has to be answered in a real way. Real, R-E-A-L. R-E-A-L. Oh, right? R-E-A-L. Real. Otherwise, we're just playing the game of fantasy. Right? La La Land, Dreamland, whatever you want to call it. And that's where most people are stuck. If you're offering something to the world, to customers that you believe is great, but everybody's saying no, every single person, it might be because it's not worth what you think it is. Okay. So like I said, we'll wrap it up here. I appreciate y'all watching. I like keeping these episodes around 20 minutes. Again, that new offer that I have, if you're interested, right, it's starting. It's available to all the packages and all the tiers of my programs. All the links are in the description. Again, last call for the Distinguished Agent Summit, my event. We're going to close ticket sales Friday evening. Other than that, you have our website there to get on the email list. You have the Discord link and everything else. All right. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.